Hi guys, it's Kales, and I am on my way with my mom to go see Lauren Oliver at the Tattered Cover bookstore. Her new book, Vanishing Girls, I should pull that out as a thing. Blah. Her new book, Vanishing Girls, just came out on Tuesday, and it's Friday. I finished it, go figure. What I want to do is spotlight Lauren Oliver because she's amazing and one of the most versatile writers I have ever met, because not only does she write books for YA like Vanishing Girls or the Delirium trilogy or Panic, she also writes for middle readers books like LIESL and Poe, which I also have, books like LIESL and Poe, and then she also just recently came out with a book in September for adults called Rooms, which was amazing. So I'm really excited to meet her. I watch her vlogs online, and I'm a really big fan of what she and her friend are doing with Paper Lantern Lit. I think it's a really great idea for writers, and I think it's kind of a backwards way to write a novel. But I also love their online videos, which I'll put a link up to, because if you're interested in writing, one of the basic things that they teach is learning plot and character voice, and it's this whole video series that they do about learning things that they didn't learn in school and are offering to teach it to people, which I think is awesome of her. And so anyway, like I said, my mother and I are on the way to Tattered Cover bookstore, taking my mom with me because she and I have gone to book signings there since I was little. It's one of our local bookstores here in Denver, and it's amazing, and you're gonna get to see it. I'm very excited. Show some scenery. We're on our way. Yay! These really old houses in Denver. Very excited. Look at these, they're so cute. I'm so excited. See? Well, I'm taking video. Yay! Hi guys, I'm back in my room after the Lauren Oliver sighting last Friday, and I'm sorry I didn't take any footage of Lauren Oliver herself. I didn't feel right doing it without actually asking her, and I really wanted to kind of meet her face to face and take her in as a person and not so much as a celebrity, which is kind of what that felt like if I was filming her and all this stuff. But I can totally show you the picture that I took. She's so cool. I know that sounds really lame to say it that way, but I really loved how she took time to talk to us each individually. She signed 5 books, personalizing 4 of them for me, which is nuts. Like, I remember all those Tattered Cover things. It was like, you get the book that they're coming out with and they'll personalize it, and then you get 1 of the book. But she signed 4 of mine, 5 total, but she personalized 4, and it was awesome. But I'm one of those kids that, you know, my mom is one of my best friends, and it was really cool to take my mom with me, who had never heard of this author before, and now my mom is interested in reading Lauren's books, and that made me feel great. So Lauren Oliver has written several books. She's best well known, I think, for her Delirium trilogy, which I don't actually own because it wasn't one of my favorites of hers, but that's just me. One of the things I did like about the Delirium trilogy was Lena's voice. It felt like it was coming alive off the page. She just felt very real. One of my favorites that Lauren Oliver has written is LIESL and Poe, which I had hauled in a video once, and this is actually an advanced reader copy, so it was super cool when she signed it for me because I didn't think she'd actually would, because, you know, the interior art's not final and stuff, but she personalized it and said, thanks for being a fan and for reading, which was really nice of her. And so it's kind of cool because I've got like this dual signature. This is the real one. But LIESL and Poe is about a young girl who goes to retrieve her father's ashes and put it under the willow tree, and she meets this entity ghost called Poe and his little dog cat creature. And one of the things that I loved most about this book was actually not only the book itself and how intertwining the stories and stuff were, but her author's note, which in this version is constructed as a letter to the reader because it was really honest. And one of my favorite lines about it was, she said, "Additionally, LIESL and Poe is the embodiment of what writing has always been for me at its purest and most basic. Not a paycheck, certainly, not an idea even, and not an escape. Actually, it is the opposite of an escape. It is a way back in, a way to enter and make sense of a world that occasionally seems harsh and terrible and mystifying." And to me, I found that to be one of the moments when I fell in love with Lauren Oliver as a writer, because I love that idea of writing as a way back in and not necessarily as an escape. And I think that there's something quite beautiful in that, and something very intelligent in that as well. But LIESL and Poe is probably my favorite of hers, and I will say that that was one of the things I was saddest about, is that we talked a lot, Lauren and I, about MFAs and, you know, advice she has for writers, and sort of joking with her about book signings and stuff with my mom, and I told her how much I like Vanishing Girls, but I didn't get to tell her how much the author's note in LIESL and Poe meant to me. So hopefully one day when I meet her again, I will get to tell her that that touched me almost as much as the story did. Another one of her books is Panic. I haven't actually read this one yet, but what's really exciting about this book is that Lauren herself is actually adapting this book into a screenplay for it to be made into a movie, which is very exciting, and she told us that she was almost finished with it. If not, actually, I think she said she was finished, so that's pretty cool. I was trying to notice a theme throughout her writing when I was trying to describe it to my mom, because she is such a versatile writer, and one of my thoughts that it had to do with death, in that Rooms is about death, and LIESL and Poe has to do with death, and yet I don't think I had it quite right, but Lauren herself said, I think my books have this underlying theme of fear and trying to overcome fear, and I was like, yep, that's it. That's actually what it is. And maybe that's why I'm drawn to her books so much, is because I find that a very fascinating thing, and it's something I struggle with in my own life, and I really am fascinated by how characters overcome them. And so I'm really excited to read this book. This was actually the first book that I picked up by Lauren Oliver, which makes sense, as it is the first book she ever published, called Before I Fall. Oh, this is another one that has death in it, so yeah, that's another reason why I thought that death had to deal with a lot of her books, and because the main character dies right at the beginning, and she relives her death for the next, like, week or so. Every day she's experiencing the day she died over again, kind of like a Groundhog's Day type of dealio. It's fascinating to me what Sam, the lead character, learns over the course of this time. I can't even remember when I picked this up. I think it was randomly, and I just really liked the idea of it. Thank goodness I did, because it turned me on to one of my favorite authors, so I'll take that. The first of her adult books that I read, which I think is actually her only adult book, is called Rooms. I don't even know what to say about this book. It's like, this is told from many different perspectives. It's about a family whose husband dies, and they have to go clean out his house, and there's, unbeknownst to them, two ghosts living in the house, and so it tells the story of this house and this fascinating interwoven stories throughout history, you know, because the ghosts talk about when they lived in the house, and the memories of the children, of the father and of the wife, and the mystery surrounding all of that. And oh my gosh, but it is seriously an adult book. Like, there's no mistaking that. There's some very harsh themes and subjects in here, and for me, I had to put it down a lot. I couldn't put it down because it was so good, but sometimes I needed to breathe from it because it was so intense. That didn't make it any less bad, just unexpected. I remember, like, underlining things that I thought were just well written. She made a ghost. This was probably one of my favorites that she signed, because it's a ghost, and that was just too cute for words. Last but not least is Lauren Oliver's most recent book, which I read in the span of like 2 days, and she thought was rather hilarious, because she actually even commented in here, she's like, thanks for reading, or she said, thanks for being here tonight, and I'm so glad you loved VG and read so speedily. Yeah. What I really liked about this book, it's a sort of thriller mystery novel, in the sense of you don't really know what's going on with these girls. Lauren actually said that this was the second book that she tried to write, and it's been just kind of sitting and stewing for a really long time, because she couldn't quite get all the pieces to fit in place, and I'm really glad she waited, because it turned out to be an excellent novel. For me, dark themes, really strong voices of pain and fear that they're trying to deal with, but there was such a sense of hope about it too, which was so fascinating to me, and such a deep-rooted sense of sisterly love, which I really like, and having a sister myself, that meant a lot. The title of Vanishing Girls is really brilliant, more so than like you'll ever think in there, and so yeah. Oh my goodness. It's really good. So I think if I had to rank my favorite Lauren Oliver books in order, it would probably be least favorite being Delirium. Panic doesn't count because I haven't actually read Panic yet. I would put then say Before I Fall, then Rooms, then Vanishing Girls, and then LIESL and Poe. Yeah, I have not actually read The Spindlers, so I can't judge that one either, and I can't judge Panic yet. But either way, Lauren Oliver is one of my favorite authors, and I think you guys should check it out. And I just gave you reviews of, you know, at least 4 books in this short-ish span of time, and so I hope you guys take some time to check out Lauren Oliver. Feel free to leave a comment below about any of your ideas or thoughts about Lauren Oliver's books, and I will see you guys next time. Plus, I hope that anyone who knows me is going to be super proud of me for being able to get rid of the books. We'll see if I actually do it. Let's start. Okay.